Hello everyone, Space Oyster here, and welcome back to Golden Sun, The Lost Stage. In the last episode, we finally made it into Lemuria proper, and we learned a little bit about their governmental systems, and Kraden had an orgasm over how pretty he thinks the place is. Anyway, in this episode, we'll be exploring a bit more of Lemuria. Now, before we get going further, if you want to see some optional stuff, I highly recommend taking the Lash Pebble and giving it to Piers. That'll show you something funny a bit later. Anyway, let's go into this house on the right over here. Wrong house, but let's talk to these people anyway. They look kind of pretty. I have never been outside of Lemuria. I don't know what the rest of the world is like. If there weren't laws prohibiting us from leaving, I would be gone in an instant. Who knows what wonders lie across the Sea of Time? I'd love to know, but I can't stand places with little culture and no advanced civilization. Now that Piers has returned, maybe he'll share his tales of the outside world with me. Ooh, looks like Piers has a crush, or someone has a crush on Piers. The Senate passed the law that prohibits us from leaving, but Piers was carried out to sea by the tidal wave. He can't be blamed for that. Well, if the Lemurian Senate is anything like the United States Senate, they're going to blame him for that and lock him up in jail for the rest of his life. Are you the travelers that came here with Piers? Yes, we are. I am sorry it has taken me so long to visit, Uncle. Oh, Piers, you're alive! Yes, I've managed to survive against a great many trials. Oh, what a fascinating coincidence! We stumbled across Piers's uncle's house. I must thank you all for looking after my nephew. Oh, this is Felix and Kraden. They are my friends and have aided me tremendously. My sister could only hear how timid young Piers has become a mighty warrior. Where is my mother? We've been so busy since we arrived that I haven't had a chance to see her. Now that I think about it, this place is a mess. What happened? Mother is always so neat. Oh no, she hasn't fallen ill again, has she? Oh, there is still illness in Lemuria. Oh, my mother was born with a weak heart. Piers, I'm sorry. Your return comes too late. After the tidal wave washed you to sea, your mother suddenly fell ill. The shock of losing you was too great for her poor heart. She held out hope for your safe return until the very end. Perhaps your mother gave herself up to ensure your survival. Well, that's not really how it works, but okay. Oh, does that not sound like your mother? Oh, where is she now? She rests in the cemetery now. Check the headstones. You will find her. Oh, crap. I should have gone to see if we could actually check those in advance. What should we do, Felix? Should we follow Piers? No! Oh, you're right. Piers probably needs some time alone right now. Alright, let's talk to his uncle again. I am so relieved that Piers has returned to me alive. He is the last of my relatives. Without him, I would be alone. Poor Piers, being born in Lemuria and gifted with long life, only to lose his father in his youth and his mother now. He faces many long years of loneliness. Well, until he finds someone to share his life with. Like a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I don't know, I don't judge. Wait. I ask that you leave Piers to his mourning for now. Now he is struggling with the loss of his mother. He needs time. You came to Lemuria to learn more of alchemy, did you not? I suspected as much. Piers was right to bring you here. Piers told me his secret, the mission he was given by His Highness the King. Even had the tidal wave not carried Piers off, he would have left us. Such was his fate. You look confused. Piers told you about this, did he not? This doesn't sound familiar at all, and it's not just because I haven't been playing in a long time. Curious. I can't understand why he would do that. If Lord Conservato had not led the Senate to oppose him, he would have left sooner. Sounds like their government's functioning much like the United States government. I wonder what news Piers has brought with him. Either way, I do know why he has brought you here. Felix, don't tell me he hasn't at least told you that much. No, he told us nothing. Did Piers tell you nothing before bringing you here to Lemuria? Unfortunately, I know little more than that. While Piers confronts his sorrow over the loss of his mother, you have some time. I shall write you a letter, so that you can see Lunpa. Wait. Excuse me. Lunpa has locked himself in his tower, and rarely comes out. But if I send him this, he will see you. Wait, I thought Lunpa stayed in the town named Lunpa after he left Lemuria and founded Lunpa. All I need is a bird to carry it to him in his tower. There. You should be able to see him now. Alright. I wonder if you say anything new. Go to Lunpa's tower. He will see you. Lunpa has given the king tremendous aid on this matter. He will have much to tell them. Alright, well, before we do that, let's go ahead and talk to Piers in the graveyard. That is not the graveyard. House of the Senate. Ooh, I don't think I've actually been here yet. We are the only children in Lemuria. I often wish there were other children to play with. Are there other children in the lands beyond the Sea of Time? Are there other people? But it has been many, many years since a new child was born in Lemuria. Lemurians love children, but they only remain children for such a short time. Everyone spoils me so much. I don't ever want to grow up. But in another 20 or 30 years, I will be an adult. Oh well, at least it's some kind of change. Well, at least they're not the only kids. Yeah, I haven't really played in a while, so I'm not too sure who I have and haven't talked to. But I think everyone around here is new. I ought to feel surprised to see outsiders here, but I can't remember how to be surprised. Long ago, a man named Lunpa drifted to our island. That was quite a surprise. Someone else came with him, but he fled so quickly. What was his name again? I don't know, but it probably starts with a B, and he probably was something that started with a B. Life never changes here in Lemuria. It can get rather dull, you'll find. Sometimes I think the buildings fall apart faster than we age. Wait, do you not have infrastructure? Or I think just infrastructure. How old am I again? Oh, I quit counting after I turned 200, and that was long ago. King Hydros is far older even than I am. How old is he? I don't know. Sometimes I forget my own age, too. Did I already talk to you? In Lemuria, we do not grow old. It must seem quite odd to those from the outside world. I think so, because I think the game cuts you off right after you go above the spring. I've aged so slowly, I no longer fear death, but at the same time, I have no motivation at all. That sounds like depression, good sir. Anyway, speaking of the spring, in the Lemurian spring, I also got my hands on some new items. The Leda's bracelet, raises wind power, and Piers has the other one. It's the Aegis shield. Let's actually go talk to him before we head over to Lunpa. ... What intriguing dialogue we have stumbled upon. No, Mother, why have you left me? Well, it's not like she really had a choice in the matter. Oh, and of course the Eclipse summon, but I should have added that onto the last part, so we're good. Let's talk to the chicken. If it weren't for the people in the castle, the Lemurians would probably let themselves starve. Oh, wow. Okay. Do we have growth? Yeah, Felix should have growth. I wonder what's down here. A cow! Yeah. Lemurians are so lazy that they make me look like a dynamo, and they live so long! Yeah, I think that's actually one of the hypotheses regarding humans and age. Like, if we lived longer, we'd eventually grow very lethargic. And I bet there are things under there if we use Cyclone, but Piers has Cyclone. Anyway, try to go in here. Are you kids Piers's traveling companions? The door's broken, I'm afraid. But I opened up a window just above the door. Sorry about this, but you'll have to climb through there. Oh, what's the matter? Can't you climb up? Fine, just a moment. You came all this way and then got stuck here? You can't be very bright. There. Is that better? Now climb up here. Yeah, normally you have to use Lash, but if you gave the Lash Pebble to Piers, you obviously can't use it at this point. So, that scene only plays if you don't have Lash, which I don't, because I wanted to show that off. Give me just a second. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Just wanted to make sure I saved my progress, because this is a very story-heavy section, and I didn't want my computer to crash on me midway through, which I thought it did there, but no, those stairs are just weird. Honestly, I'm amazed that anyone can travel so far across the world in this age. Say, Piers isn't with you. Why not? His mother passed away. He's gone to visit her grave. Of course, his mother. He loved her dearly. A terrible loss. It must be hard on him. Well, Piers may not be here, but we still have much to discuss. If Piers brought you, you must be working to break the seal on alchemy, right? Right! Ah, Piers has done quite well in finding you. What mission could the good King Hydros have assigned to Piers? What? Piers has told you nothing of his mission? Really? So, you actually have nothing at all to do with alchemy? Our parents were kidnapped by the Fire Clan far to the north. We are only firing the lighthouse beacons to gain their freedom. King Hydros told me that Venus and Mercury have been ignited once again. Was that your doing? Well, technically that was Saturos and Minardi. I'm afraid I know nothing of any Northern Fire Clan. But that doesn't explain you, sir. You're clearly not related to these two. Neither is the girl with the blonde hair. What are your goals? Creighton joined us on this quest on behalf of Lord Bobby of Tolby.
Bobby? I only know of one man named Bobby, but it couldn't.
Master Lunpa, the Bobby we speak of is the same man you knew long ago.
Ah, so he's still out there, living in the outside world?
Well, that might not be the most accurate way of putting it.
Most accurate? My, you certainly have an odd way of turning a phrase.
He was living, yes. Until recently, that is. Oh, please, just say he died! Oh, so, Bobby has passed away. But only recently, you say? When he finally ran out of his mystic draughts, his spirit began to wane. Then, I no longer know anyone in the world outside. But, aren't you Lunpa, the righteous thief? I was called that once, long ago. Why do you ask? I'll bet there's at least one person in the outside world whom you still know.
Who would that be?
Give me just a second. Okay. There's a town called Lunpa in northern Angara. A man named Donpa lives there.
I settled that village, and Donpa,
he is my son.
Now your grandson, Dodonpa, rules over your village. Rules? Rules is an ill-sounding word.
But it's an accurate one, Lunpa. Dodonpa is an evil thief who has caused much trouble in Angara.
Oh, what has become of my son? How could he permit such a thing to happen?
Master Lunpa, don't you have any idea how old Donpa is?
He is as I am, an old man. He may be older even than I.
If this news outrages you, why don't you go and set Dodonpa straight?
If only I could.
Is this the only reason we're here? To bring news of the outside world? I don't even know why we're here. I'm gonna go with yes.
Oh, you are kind, Felix, but there are much more important matters at hand. But before we begin, there is one thing I must say.
With you, Creighton, it's never just one thing.
You don't mind, do you, Felix?
Yes, I do mind. I don't like you, Creighton!
Clearly, your judgment on this matter is fogged, Felix. I must speak. I have discussed this with none but Felix, but I have my own reasons for this quest.
What do you mean?
Only that I have my own reasons for wanting to see the beacons lit again.
Why are you telling us all of this now?
Because I feel this quest is deeply linked to Lemuria. I thought it odd that Lord Bobby should order me to research alchemy.
Hey, wait a minute. Is this what you promised to tell us once we reached Lemuria?
Yes. May I continue? Long ago, before alchemy's power was sealed, there were many civilizations as advanced and cultivated as Lemuria. At the moment that alchemy was sealed away, most of those civilizations began to wane. until eventually they vanished. I have formed certain theories now, suggesting that this may be related to the seal on alchemy.
Let me get this straight. You felt you couldn't tell us this until we were in Lemuria? And you only wanted to come to Lemuria to test your theories and see if they were true? But even if everything you said is true, what does it all mean?
If your theories are correct, the world itself will wane and vanish. Won't it, Kraden? Piers never spoke of this to you, did he? If you came to this theory on your own, you are indeed a wise scholar, or he's just good at noticing patterns. We would do well to trust you. What do you mean? King Hydros and I, as well as others in Lemuria, hold the same beliefs that you do, Kraden. You do? Civilizations thrive by building upon the knowledge of the past. Knowledge gained in one generation should be taken even further by the next. Thus, knowledge and learning continue to grow. This is the natural course of civilization. But where is the world today? The great civilizations of old have all withered and vanished. We are all isolated and alone. You have encountered many cultures in your travels. Are any of them capable of building the great sanctums and lighthouses you have seen? No, they are not. But this is not the only sign of the decay you have theorized. I think it best that you hear the rest directly from His Majesty, King Hydros. Yes, Kraden, we shall go to visit the king! But King Hydros is in council with Lord Conservato. We might not be allowed in. Conservato? That fool! He refuses to acknowledge what he can see with his own eyes! I will meet with the king and press our evidence upon Conservato. Come with me! Ah, stupid door! I should not have tried to do that. Pah! At last, you are open! To the king's chambers!
Loompa ought to be as old as Lord Bobby was, but he has so much energy. He's got a fire in him.
I do wish I could have heard more about Lord Bobby, though. But come, Felix, to the king's palace we go. Alright, let's get to going.
Yeah, I always remember that scene being longer, but that might just be because I was always in a hurry playing this in my youth. What does the dog say? There's so much treasure buried here that you could dig almost anywhere and find something. So why doesn't anybody here dig? I don't know, it sounds like they're all lazy. Or at the very least depressed.
King Hydros awaits you. You are free to enter. They are clearly using Synergy, which makes them adepts. But are they so important that His Highness must make time for them right away? His Highness, the King, has instructed that we let you pass. You are welcome here. What does His Highness have in mind? Piers, his friends, and Loompa are all here.
If you seek the counsel of His Highness, the King, follow this passage to the doors at the end. Oh dear, using Synergy in the palace of the good King Hydros? What ill-mannered buffoons!
His Highness never leaves a meeting with Conservato in a good mood. Good luck. His Highness, the King, is most temperamental, which is a rare trait in Lemurians. Lord Conservato is calm and collected, like a true Lemurian. Wait, really? I don't remember that much about Lemuria, but I do remember that I think the opposite is true. Unless the politics here in Lemuria are almost exactly like the politics in the United States, in which case, yeah, he just blindly believes anything that makes the party he supports look good. King Hydros is the wisest of all Lemurian kings, but I understand why Conservato and his senate oppose the king's plans. His Highness is worried that Lemuria will wither away. What a ridiculous notion.
Conservato and the king were yelling so loudly that I could hear them from out here. Lord Conservato only raises his voice when he speaks with the king. Their debates frighten me. I can't stand the yelling.
He is still in chambers with Lord Conservato. Why is he granting them entrance? Lord Conservato holds the most power in Lemuria after the king. I don't think he'll take kindly to the advice of outworlders like these. Ooh, we're on the roof.
The Senate holds King Hydros in poor regard because he favors Lunpa's wisdom over their own. I trust the king. If his majesty is wrong, the fault lies with Lunpa, not with him.
I guess that's technically true, but the majesty would be a fool for believing someone who's wrong. If Lunpa was wrong, you are Lord Felix, correct? It would seem the warriors of which you spoke have arrived. So it would, Your Highness. I shall call them to us immediately. There is no need, Lunpa. Let us go to them. Hydros! Would you see me dishonored thus? They ought to present themselves to us. I do not go to present myself to them, Conservato. I am merely going to where they are. I have something that I wish to show everyone. Regardless of your reasons, sire, I will not go to them. Do as you will, Conservato. However, we shall go. That was 3 steps. I heard of your arrival. It is quite remarkable that you were able to reach Lemuria. Welcome.
Allow me to introduce my companions.
No, I'm giving him a quiet, what I hoped was Ivan's voice.
This is Sheba,
Jenna,
Felix, and Kraden.
But this game is just so long I keep forgetting things, voice-related, pretty much every time I load up. Whatever. Kraden is the one who told me of the outside world's civilizations, of their condition. Kraden, Lunpa describes you as a remarkable scholar. Your research impressed us. Thank you, Your Highness. Your theories are correct. Our world is now on a path to destruction. And who has decided this? You, Hydros. Some civilizations have vanished, surely, but that is the way of the outside world. Look around you. Lemuria remains unchanged. Oh, don't delude yourself. Lemuria has been in slow decline for ages now, but that can wait. My most trusted scholars have reached this conclusion after extensive research. I sent peers to confirm this for me. So, you admit it, Hydros. You violated the directive of the Senate. You used the tidal wave as your chance to send peers away, despite our commands. You are incorrect. The tidal wave carried me away by chance alone. Conservato, you must know that the tidal wave was caused by Poseidon's return. Only a fool would have chosen to send a man to see if he knew that this would have happened. What was it that you intended to have Piers confirm? This map shows the ancient world, when Lemuria still traded with the people on the many continents. Yeah, it was a great age, a time when the world shined brightly. And this is the map Lunpa had with him when he arrived in Lemuria 150 years ago. I used this map to sail around the world. It is quite accurate. Incredible! Oh, you understand, Kraden?
What do you understand?
Well, unless my eyes deceive me, the continents have shrunk since the Golden Age.
That's insane!
It is not insane. It is true! Perhaps this will make the point more clearly. Look at these two maps, side by side, and be prepared to cover your ears. I might have to reduce the sound on this, because it's going to be annoying. Yeah, I don't know why they had to add in beeps. There's no mistaking it. The continents on Lunpa's map are clearly smaller. Lies! Nothing but lies! Spewed from your mouth filled with corn! What do you hope to gain from foisting these lies upon our people? Oh, you know well that I hope to gain nothing more than the truth, Conservato. And who do you expect will believe such nonsense? If you do not believe the evidence before your eyes, what do you believe? Do you believe the Lemurian map to be accurate to this day? Tell me, Piers, you were able to investigate this matter, were you not?
Thanks to Felix and my companions, I was able to travel much of the Eastern Sea.
And what did you find?
I found, in truth, that Lunpa's map is the more accurate of the two. However, the world seems even smaller now than it appears on Lunpa's map.
What are you saying?
Time itself has stopped.
Think of Weyard as a living, breathing being, possessing its own life force. The four elements are the nourishment needed to sustain this being.
Kraden,
this is exactly what King Hydros himself has said to me. Ever since alchemy was sealed away, the world has been cut off from its nourishment. It has gone into a state akin to hibernation. By using less energy, Weyard prolongs its life. Yet when hibernating, the being has only stopped its own clock, not the flow of time around it. When a bear sleeps through the winter, it needs only wait for spring to come. When it awakens, it can nourish its weakened body again. But if spring never comes, the bear will eventually die. Weyard is wasting away, its continents shrieking, because its spring has never come. Hydros, how can you make such outrageous claims? The world is not alive. It's a metaphor, you buffoon. Tell me, Conservato, why do you think Poseidon has returned? Do you have the answer, Hydros? The elemental lighthouses. Felix and his companions have lit the beacons on both Mercury and Venus Lighthouse. What? Have you any idea what will happen to you if you set that evil loose upon the world again?
I'm just gonna answer yes.
You know that it could bring about the destruction of the world, and yet you did it anyway. My lord, you cannot possibly intend for these people to light the remaining beacons.
I do indeed, Conservato, and I also fear the possibility that alchemy will destroy the world.
But I cannot stand by, knowing as I do that the world will wither and die if we do not act. This is madness, Hydros! Does the threat of alchemy mean so little to you? Would you put the world in even greater danger to satisfy your theories? With only 2 of the beacons lit, I assume you intend to send Piers out again. And I will go, Lord Conservato. Felix has need of my power. And the stuff in your inventory. Then go, Piers, but if you do, say farewell, for you will never be able to return. You will be banished from Lemuria forever. You know our laws. Are you prepared for the outcome? I myself am disgusted by the whole matter. I take my leave of you, Hydros! But I warn you, I will not permit you to go through with this madness.
What will you do, Your Highness?
I knew this outcome was inevitable. But I could not sit silent while our world drifted down the path of its destruction. I want you to light the remaining beacons before you return.
That's what we intend to do, but we cannot leave the Eastern Sea.
I have already heard of this problem from Piers.
This is something I found by accident in some ruins back in my days as a thief. I'm not sure what it is, but it seems to contain some powerful synergy. Seems to? You are not certain? It is a synergy that we Lemurians are unable to use. I understand you travel with many different kinds of adepts, do you not, Felix? If we include Piers in our numbers, we have 1 adept for each of the 4 elements. Then at least one of you should be able to use the synergy that this contains. King Hydros believes that the item can only be used by one who wields synergy of the earth. If I am not mistaken, it is a powerful synergy we call Grind. If you master this synergy, the reefs that block your way shall pose no trouble anymore. With Grind, you should be able to create a path by which you can sail into the Western Sea. Go, brave adepts. By your hands, may the remaining lighthouses burn bright once more. That synergy is quite powerful. It can only be trusted to a very few people. That His Highness has given it to you should illustrate how great his expectations are. I have no doubt your journey will be fraught with ever-increasing danger. But we are counting on you, Felix. And Piers. And Sheba. And Jenna. Alright, now that we got Piers back, now let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and give that. Well, he's got it equipped, but you know what? Let's just keep it on him. But yeah, Aegis Shield. Okay, anyway, let's open this up, and we get the Grindstone. And that was my phone. Anyway, the Grindstone can only be equipped by Earth Adepts, so Felix is the only one who can equip it and learn how to use Grind. Let's go ahead and talk to these guys. You must sail to the Western Sea. Do not worry about Lemuria. We'll ignite the elemental beacons. Conservato lacks the
conviction to discuss these matters with the people of Lemuria. His Majesty has come to this decision on his own, without the counsel of his advisors. This is why I must remain by his side and support his decision. Do not listen to Conservato. We cannot let the world wither and die. Go, brave adepts. By your hands, may the remaining lighthouses burn bright once more. My people may not desire change, but I cannot let that stop me. I do this not for myself, but for all those yet to be born throughout Wayard. And also yourself, because you're gonna probably live to see it through. Ooh, this must be his... that must have been King Hydros' bedroom. Alright, and I just realized I forgot to stop by the Senate. They likely would have said very different things if I had gone there before visiting the king. But we can at least stop by afterwards and see them in action, I hope. Unless Conservato locked the door so the Senate can discuss things. Yeah, and I was trying to make it so that Conservato and Hydros were yelling at each other's. Oh, the door is locked. It sounds as if there's a raucous caucus going on inside. I hope I pronounced those words correctly. Never mind, I got that wrong. Anyway, let's go ahead and leave Lemuria. And that was my phone again. And Husen, I am very not happy that I forgot to talk to the Senate. Felix, are we setting off now? Yes we are. Then, to sea we go.
Piers?
Yes, Sheba, what is it?
There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Something I have to ask you.
Ask me, Sheba.
You and I look roughly the same age, but how old are you really?
Is that your question, Sheba? It's not important.
It is to me. If you're much older than us, then I'm afraid we've not shown you the proper respect.
She's got a point. Oh, don't worry about such things. Please, treat me as you have all along. No, that won't do. You have to tell us. What? Come now. This is silly.
No, Piers, tell me.
You're afraid you haven't shown me the proper respect, and yet you make demands of me?
Oh, come on, Piers. You can tell us. How old are you really?
This has nothing to do with respect. You just want to know how old I am, don't you? Sorry, that text auto-scrolls, and it's pretty fast. And I missed a line. Oh well. You're in this too, aren't you, Felix? I've had it with your conspiracies. I will not tell you. Alright. And, give me just a sec. Actually, right after leaving Lemuria, go right back in, because now that we have grind, there is something we can grab here. And by something, I mean a Ginny. You go to the left instead of the right, and you use grind on this thingy. Where is grind? There's grind. And yeah, I kind of wish that in these earlier games they actually had more synergies that worked like grind, that they could only be equipped by adepts of a specific element. I think it would have added a lot more flavor to the various synergies that are in the game. They definitely do that a bit more in Dark Dawn, and I feel it makes each of the abilities more unique, and each of the characters who use them feel a bit more special and necessary. Anyway, we need to go over this way and use Cyclone. Oh wait, Sheba had Cyclone. I could have explored Lemuria more thoroughly with Sheba. And then, yeah, he's obviously hiding in the statue, so use Tremor to shake it. and then you grab it. Alright, we found the Mercury Ginny, Rhyme. Rhyme seals a foe's Synergy. He is very handy. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna call it an episode. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.